To go on the grandstand, Justine Henin serving for the first set. And with that powerful first serve, Justine finishing off Cibulkova. 6-4 first set. Lindsay Davenport joins me. We'll check in on Henin when we come back.
A warrior, to me, is someone who is willing to sacrifice.
A warrior is someone who just won't quit.
You have to become better than the next guy.
There's always someone out there who's bigger, badder, stronger. You have to work harder.
Never give up. No retreat. No mercy. There's only room for one champion. And it will be me.
Final score, weeknights.
I like the crab cakes and throw in chowder, salmon, and shrimp, all for around $10.
No!
No other place can match Golden Corral's Great American Seafood Tour. It's Hawaiian coconut shrimp, Maryland-style crab cakes, and more. And it's all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
And if you go with us, it'll be a win-win.
Certainly will.
I think this could be a win-win.
Maybe.
This is gonna be a win-win.
Win-win.
A what? A win-win! You should say win-win. Use a hyphen. You know what this is?
A win-win.
A home run.
That's my next guess.
Win-win. Win-win.
Drink.
Man, this trip was great. I mean, I just, pumped.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
The UEFA Champions League. Munich aims to shock the Red Devils on their run for glory. But Rooney and United are out to charge into the next round. The UEFA Champions League, live Tuesday.
All right, they waited patiently. Rafa did all of his interviews, and now, that's right, look at the pen in the right hand as he signs his autographs. Well, it's a pleasure to have Lindsay Davenport now sitting in as we move over to the grandstand and join this action live, where Justine Henin has just closed out the first set. We're in the first game of the second set. And did you think, Lindsay Davenport, you'd see someone a foot shorter than you out there playing and succeeding on the tour?
We were talking earlier, she reminds us of Amanda Coetzer. I played against Coetzer so much in the 90s, but I ran into Cibulkova today in the gym before she went out on court, and she is a foot shorter than I am.
And yes, she has that physical stature like Amanda Coetzer and runs, but she actually hits the ball. Not necessarily the serve, but she hits the ball pretty well, doesn't she?
She hits the ball extremely hard. She is very strong and very solid, very strong legs. She possesses a big game, but as you said, that serve can be a real liability. Even first serve is attackable.
She made her breakthrough last year, Cibulkova reaching the semis at Roland Garros, and ended up having a rib injury later in the year.
40-30.
And she Spurred by that French Open run, she reached 12 in the world, but that rib injury knocked her out, didn't play the U.S. Open.
This is a good matchup for Justine. Sometimes Justine struggles when players take away the play from her, but she will be able to really use that big forehand, set up points the way she wants to play them.
How happy will players be when Justine finally gets back to being a seed?
Well, the top players especially. Lena Dementieva probably the happiest,
Yes.
having had to face her in the second round in both Melbourne and Miami.
Advantage, Anna.
It's a surprising loss by Anna last week in Indian Wells at the BNP Paribas Open to Gisela Dolko. She would, on paper, be a very winnable match for Justine. She's not used to having those early round losses at tournaments.
Well, just as we saw with Kim Clijsters at the Australian this year. And is that related to the time off, Lindsay, in the comeback?
She's definitely still finding her way. She gets back into the sport, and she started off with such a bang in Brisbane and Melbourne. Just an incredible effort, both finals. Took a little bit of time off after the trip to Australia and was, as she said, just really flat in Indian Wells.
Advantage, Cibulkova.
It takes a while as well to get used to the week in, week out nature of playing matches. There's obviously a lot of excitement in Australia. Her first tournament's back in 18 months. But then it starts slowly to become more of a job and more of a grind. See if she can keep the excitement and staying fresh with her.
Cibulkova fought through and holds to begin the second set.
First game, second set.
The women's top half already through to the round of 16, and there's Svetlana Kuznetsova holding the #1 seed here.
Well, with Serena Williams not playing, Kuznetsova up at the top of the draw, but you've got to be aware of Wickmeyer, Belgian Janina Wickmeyer, very dangerous player. And obviously Venus Williams so comfortable playing here in South Florida, taking on Daniela Hentakova. She's never lost to Hentakova. So Radwanska lurking down low, and you see Kim Clijsters went through so easily today against Shahar Peer. Sam Stosur, who's done a very nice job of accumulating a lot of singles wins, and Yankovic Azarenka also.
And those matches already finished today. Zvonareva and Pavlyuchenkova
15
have also advanced to the 16s. Everything will get finished in the third round today and tonight. It's just like old times walking through the lounge here this morning and seeing Justine sitting with Carlos Rodriguez.
Same crew traveling with her.
Same crew, yep.
That's refreshing to see so many players almost blame their coaches when things don't go right, make a lot of changes. Nice to see a nice relationship stay at the course.
15 all.
How dramatic, from what you've seen of Justine, Lindsay, since her comeback, has been the service change?
Not a huge fan of the service change. I know she's been trying to tinker with her serve to really have it become more of a weapon and really, as she says, help her win her dream and goal of winning Wimbledon. It's almost a hitch now when she brings her arm back and up. She's throwing in more double faults than she used to because she's going for bigger serve. She knows when she plays the girls at the top, they're going to be attacking.
There's an example we said that she whacks this inside out.
She does. She plays an aggressive game for her stature. And she's fast around the court, but that's not her biggest weapon. She still tries to go for winners. sloppy errors early in this second set. She had the break point that first game, missed an easy second serve return. It's been tough for Justine since she's come back to keep her consistency throughout a match. She'll have spurts where
wow, how good a game was that? Cibulkova covering court beautifully at a nice angle.
it's good hands. Flick of the wrist at the last minute. Gets that ball by Justine. Well, she's up a break 2-love. She was also up a break in the first set. See if she can hang on to serve, but that's going to be a tough task for Cibulkova to do consistently throughout this match.
There have been now, each player has broken the other 3 times in 6 service games.
Interesting shot choice there. Justine had done such a great job of getting control with her forehand.
Much better than second serve.
We went after that serve, and really for Cibulkova at her height, she's got it. Really just wants to develop a nice, consistent serve. Very hard for her to develop a serve as a weapon. The disadvantage with the reach and height. She's got to have a reliable serve.
You're a prophet.
The jinx.
Well, it's just amazing. There's the capsule, the consistency, right? She
Well, double faults have really plagued women's tennis the last few years. So in theory, you'd think it would be the easiest shot because you have complete control.
What do you think is the reason? Mind
for a lot of the girls. You know, you see girls that once had really good serves and now have some real issues with confidence in it. Others, there's technical flaws, toss problems. She did such a great job, and something she's been working so hard on is coming to net and finishing points off. And I'm not going to see Justine miss that easy volley too often. And getting back to the serve, for instance, a player like Ana Ivanovic, believe it started with toss problems and her trying to compensate and change her motion. And all of a sudden, then she loses confidence, and then it's a snowball effect where one thing a little off leads to a lot more problems developing.
Cibulkova 6 double faults in this match already, and they're making sure, but as Carlos Rodriguez is just the ball sitting there.
Occasionally, that's where Justine will struggle, when she really has to come up with her own pace. Great forehand by, oh, called long.
Long, yep.
No challenge system out on the grandstand court.
Correction. He corrected himself.
Ava Astaraki in the chair.
Me neither, but I looked at him and he told me he corrected himself. We're going to replay the points.
Now we're replaying it. The baseline judge then changed his call.
Not for me. For me, she was on the ball. He corrected himself. The line umpire.
Okay, he corrected, so it's good.
So it's good, so we're going to... I didn't overrule. I'm going with his correction. So the ball is good.
But it's the winner.
Not for me. We're going to replay the points.
It's not the winner for you. She didn't have the ball.
Sablikova has
Ladies
a
and
good
gentlemen,
argument there.
the umpire made a call and corrected himself.
Tried to
It was
hit
an
it, but
hindrance.
didn't
We're
make
gonna replay the
contact. Umpire saying that the line call might have interrupted her, but that point construction by Hennig has made her so dangerous over the years. The depth, the placement, and her ability to go to any corner with that run-around forehand. As an opponent, you have to almost guess. Just needs a little bit more consistency with those types of points. She's not far off the top of the game with her level. Just trying to put it all together, complete matches.
So Justine Henin with her fourth break of that match, and she puts the second set back on serve.
Here, kitty kitty, clipping Kitty's claws is impossible. Now Kitty can trim her own claws with Emery Cat, the fun new kitty scratcher that grooms cats' claws while they play. Clippers cut too close, causing pain. But Emery Cat's honeycomb design works like a powerful emery board. When infused with catnip, Kitty keeps coming back for safe groomed nails. The arch design is ideal for larger cats too. It even has a playful toy. Ordinary post costs $100 and won't trim your cat's claws. But Emery Cat is just $19.95 with durable base, emery board infused with catnip, and cat toy. As a bonus, you also get the De-Shatter. It goes deep down to the undercoat to help eliminate shedding. It's a $15 value, free. Call now and we'll send you a second Emery Cat and De-Shatter, free. Just pay processing and handling. 2 Emery Cat boards plus 2 De-Shatters for just $19.95. Call now.
To order your Emery Cat board for $19.95 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-503-6554. That's 1-800-503-6554. Or go online at emerycat.com.
It's a great day here at Zappos. How may I help you?
I received the most beautiful dress this morning.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, it's gorgeous. My problem is I don't know who it's from.
Okay, let me take a look here.
Okay. Does this happen a lot?
No, not really. Who do you think it's from?
Is it from Eddie?
No.
Okay. Daryl? He's like stalking me. Okay. Is it from Jesse?
Yes.
Ah! Rachel, it's from Jesse! Oh my gosh, she's so hot.
Well, the Sony Ericsson Open on this Sunday, third round play. The comeback kids are playing. Kim Clijsters played early this morning, and she rolled over Shahar Peer. Saw David Nalbandian coming back from hip surgery, and he pushed Rafa Nadal to a third set before Nadal prevailed. And now Justine Henin in this unusual spot playing on the grandstand court. The second court, a 7-time Grand Slam champion, while the present number 2, Caroline Wozniacki, is playing on the stadium court.
have to say the grandstand court of this tournament is not one of the favorites of the players. It's very far away, ironically, and at the site. It's very wide open. And I know the lines are the same and the net's the same height, but sometimes the ball plays a little differently out there, a little bit slow. That's what happens at these big tournaments where you have both the men and the women, all the top players. Spread them out evenly over all the show courts.
When you watch Justine serve, you feel like there's a lot more stick on. I mean, she's just trying to really.
Well, she's been trying to develop that serve, and she tosses the ball up very quickly. Her arm up for the toss, the racket's still coming back. But then right there, she just pauses a little bit of hitch before she goes through, and a lot of times she pulls her head down as well. And she gets into this rut of missing a lot of serves into the net. Also, she gets into a habit of the toss being too far out in front.
That's the thing I've noticed here, just watching so far today, Lindsay.
Too far out in front, and when you can't kick a serve that's in front of you, the ideal toss is a little bit behind your head. So she's falling forward, the toss is dropping, she's trying to get a kick, and that's not actually physically able to do that.
It's almost like she's out there reaching for it.
40-30. Kept her balance good on that serve.
It's her fourth ace today, but serving, and this, you hit on this one, she's only serving 53%.
And that's really troubled her in her 4 tournaments back so far, is that serve. Throwing in more double faults and not a consistent first serve yet.
All right, so Justine holds for 2-all. How long, when you had your comeback, did it take you to get your ranking back?
To the top, or
just to be back, when you got back, let's say, in the top 20? How long did that take? 4 tournaments, 6, 8,
exactly,
10?
somewhere around there. Probably 4 to probably 6, depending on which comeback.
Right. So by the time you get to Roland Garros, for example, Justine could be back as a seed.
And her goal will be to be in the top 20 by Roland Garros, and she absolutely will be. She's at the rankings right now of 33. She'll have 4 more tournaments to add on her favorite surface coming up, clay. Great feel there. Wouldn't surprise me if she was actually close to 10 by the time Roland Garros came around.
Does she? Well, let's take a look here at this point.
Just the versatility that Justine has with her soft hands.
Does she go back to Roland Garros in your mind as a favorite?
Oh, absolutely.
This year, really?
I mean, we'll see what the clay court season brings, but from all the top players, she's by proven champion there a number of times. She's so comfortable on the clay. Really starting to find her range now as the second set progresses. And by the time Roland Garros comes around at the end of May, she will be comfortable in match conditions. The body will be accustomed to playing matches on a day-in, day-out basis. Just a phenomenal backhand. A look at Justine's backhand.
15-13.
Probably the best one-handed backhand to have ever played women's tennis, certainly on the drive part of it. And how she's able to get her feet in position. She gets great shoulder turn. You can see the weight is on that front leg. She transfers it up into the court. So strong in her forearm and wrist to be able to get as much pace as she does. The things I like about Justine in this second career of hers, we'll call it, is her willingness to come to net. She's
15-14.
very focused on moving forward, ending points. She believes that's really going to help her win Wimbledon. She's always been fearless. It's hard to be fearless as a tennis player.
Well, since we joined this match, Justine's showing her stuff. Up a breakdown in the second.
In one of the biggest events of the year, the best players in the world vie for the crown at the Sony Ericsson Open. It's a star-studded event. Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Serena Williams fight to be champion. The Sony Ericsson Open, live from Miami.
Final score, weeknights.
Play in the stadium right now. This is Maria Kirilenko and Caroline Wozniacki. Wozniacki at the top there, the number 2 player, number 2 seed. And Maria Kirilenko there, who's had just a real good 2010, first 3 months. Jumped up into a seeded position, grabbed the last seed at Sony Ericsson Open, now back in the grandstand.
15 love.
When we talk about Caroline Wozniacki, the number 2 seed here, Svetlana Kuznetsova, the number 1 seed. And it's fair to say in women's tennis right now, the seedings and the rankings aren't necessarily indicative of the players who are favored to win the tournament.
Sure, evidence Australia.
You know, no matter where Kim Clijsters is ranked, she's always going to be a favorite in the eyes of the players and the fans. And a favorite ahead of a player like Wozniacki and like Kuznetsova. Unless Serena's playing. I mean, Serena,
right.
number 1, well established, is the favorite. But when you take Serena out of the mix, the tournament becomes wide open.
And Lindsay, you look at Justine and her hope and desire to win Wimbledon, the one she hasn't yet. And to do that, she's going to have, I mean, she has to get through Serena and Venus. And Venus is still 7 finals. They're very much a Wimbledon presence.
It's going to be very tough. I mean, we talked about Justine at the French. And in my mind, she's the top 2 favorites to win in Paris. But you throw in Wimbledon, and she's not the top 2, maybe not even top 3. It's going to be a tough challenge for her. she said one of the reasons she came back was she was so inspired seeing Roger win the French Open and complete that career Grand Slam. It's a big goal of hers. You certainly don't want to underestimate Anna.
Love 15.
And Nena's really started to control all the points now. Match is really on her racket.
Did Justine call you for any of the Kim, we all know Kim Clijsters asked you for some advice coming back.
No. No.
Different life situation,
I
obviously.
think Justine and I have exchanged personal contact info over the years. It was great. I got the opportunity in Indian Wells to play against Justine in the Hit for Haiti exhibition and visit with her a little bit before, and she has done a phenomenal job. Last few years, she's really grown into herself as a person. You can see she's more confident in herself.
Did you sense that talking to her?
Absolutely. And as well, I mean, you hear about how she feels more at peace, but you actually get that sense talking to her. She had lost earlier in the day and still came out for this charity exhibition, had a wonderful attitude, was really excited and an awe to have Steffi there as well.
And she has, as Lindsay said, she's just taking this over now. One game away from an advance.
Sound mind, sound body. ASICS.
Let's see if this seafood place can match the value of Golden Corral's Great American Seafood Tour. I'd like the crab cakes and throw in chowder, salmon, and shrimp, all for around 10 bucks.
No.
10 bucks.
The bird says no.
You're joking, right? Funny guy!
No other place can match Golden Corral's Great American Seafood Tour. It's Hawaiian coconut shrimp, Maryland-style crab cakes, new tilapia Florentine, and more. It's part of our endless dinner buffet, and it's all for around 10 bucks.
Now that's quite a catch.
Golden Corral. Help yourself to happiness.
Justine Henin trying to close out Cibulkova. That would push her into the fourth round against Vera Zvonareva.
Nice to see Zvonareva back winning some matches. She suffered a horrible ankle injury last year in Charleston. to have surgery as well. And when Justine comes off this court, didn't play great in the first set, still came through, gets down 0-2, but these last 5.5 games, she's done a phenomenal job of controlling the points, coming to net. This is the kind of tennis she wants to be playing.
You get the sense that the fire still has come back for Justine?
I do. I think more so in the Grand Slams. She seemed to be very intense in Melbourne, as we're used to seeing at those Grand Slams. I think the loss in Indian Wells almost would be a wake-up call for her. To have the letdowns. Gisela Dulko, she lost to, is a very good player, but that's an odd loss for Justine to suffer.
Out. 30 over.
Well, Justine would potentially play here either Kleisters, Azarenka, Yankovic. Any one of those would potentially be a semi for her.
And that's really the toughest quarter of the draw. Yankovic coming off the win in Indian Wells. Kim, always dangerous. Azarenka,
Stosur, I forget there
exactly. Azarenka won the tournament last year. Justine actually stopped playing. She thought that ball was so far out. See if we can see it on this replay.
This continues to puzzle me, Lindsay. I don't know how you handled it when you came back, but when you're accustomed to the video and you're a champion like Justine, you play the big courts all the time. Suddenly you get on a place where you don't have that tool.
It's a very nice comfort to have in the back of your mind. The challenge system.
Well, Justine unable to close, so life again for Cibulkova.
Well, we hope at some point we'll be able to have the challenge system on all match courts. It's really comes down to price, expenses. But I strongly believe in the same playing conditions on every court. There's no sense that just the top players should have that luxury. I also share Mary Carrillo's sentiments that you should be able to challenge on almost any point. If we have the technology, let's use it to make sure every call is correct as the match progresses. It's very tough as a player to have to judge calls on the far baseline. You can control the balls on your side of the court, you get a good view on them, but to control where the serve lands, control your shot hit the baseline.
Did you see the baseline at your feet better than you felt the other lines on the opposite side?
At times.
I've heard that theory before, that players have a lot of trouble seeing the baseline at their own feet.
Absolutely. If it comes fast, if you come off after serving, it's hard to get your balance and look at the ball and call the mark.
15-30.
We'll get there someday.
Yeah, and I understand the sentiment about which most sports that have video have to confront this. If you have it, why don't you just use it? And of course, the concern is the abuse that a player could take within that system and challenge just for the sake of challenging on every point.
As technology develops as well, they'll get it faster and faster. Maybe not this year, but it's just going to be a real shame if it's late in the third set and a player is potentially out of challenges and a huge call goes against them. We're going to have that same discussion over what the rules should be.
So Justine again jumping on the second serve.
That's such a great play, return and come in, and Cibulkova actually good passing shot down at her feet, and have those kind of hands, and you can see the intensity Justine always brings, giving the fist. Justine just missing the baseline.
I'm wondering, I'm looking at her thinking, is she fighting herself because she wants to challenge?
Exactly. She's also always had an anxious edge to her, especially the tighter the matches have gotten. Find her looking up to her box after every point. She admits during Grand Slam she gets very little sleep, replays the matches, win or lose in her head.
I so remember that, Lindsay, the last match she played at Wimbledon, which was the stunning loss to Bartoli in the semifinals. I remember that. The tension so visible.
She hasn't been back since that loss. It'll be really interesting to see her take to the grounds there again. Justine now has her third match point.
Use.
There's no question she wants this match to get over almost too badly.
It does tell you something about how hard it is to finish in the close, and you can see Cibulkova winning points with a serve like one she just delivered.
Well, Justine's at her best when she lets it flow. Very natural. When she starts trying to force the issue too much, gets a little tense. That's when she starts overhitting the forehand, starts rushing her shots.
Advantage.
Cibulkova doing a great job hanging in there. Make Justine come out and try and serve for the match again.
So Cibulkova dodging match points and stays alive.
Hi guys, I'm Andy. Just in London just now in the middle of a training session with my new head, UTEC Radical. Best part about it is the D3O stuff that's inside it. It gives you a lot more power and control and a stiffer on input. I now see why they say this Radical is more radical than ever. Here you go.
What are you doing, Andy? No.
Is this still on?
Why do hardwood floors cost less at Lumber Liquidators? At most flooring stores, your floor makes a few stops before you get your order. Lumber Liquidators cuts out the middleman. Come on in. You'll find the quality hasn't been cut, just the prices. Like Bellawood, the premium pre-finished hardwood flooring from $2.99. Supreme bamboo flooring as low as $1.99 a square foot. Hurry in, these deals won't last. Visit lumberliquidators.com or call 1-800-HARDWOOD for a store near you.
Poker's most prestigious tour continues. Don't miss all new episodes of the World Poker Tour. The stakes are raised.
We have two players going after the title.
As the world's best players
He's hit it!
and top amateurs,
The next WPT champion.
travel from city to city in pursuit of the WPT crown.
That's not bad.
The World Poker Tour, an all-new episode, Sunday at 11.
There, well, Justine Henin now with a second chance to close out this third round match. If she does, she'll play Vera Zvonareva in the round of 16.
And Justine served for this match at 5-2, at 3 match points at 5-3. So we're getting into crunch time here.
What a way to end that point after Henin fought so well to stay in.
Justine and Kim are the two best players that can turn defense into offense, and
15 love.
seemingly out of this rally early on, but Cibulkova let her back in right there. Able to turn the tide of that point. Cibulkova had control of the point. Justine was out of position. That's the thing with Justine. You have to come up with 4 or 5 great shots or winners. She just moves so well.
Love.
Her only coach, Carlos Rodriguez. There. Accidental touch in the nose. What do you think?
Well, wouldn't be going out on a limb to say he might do a little bit of coaching from the stands every now and again. For as great as Justine is, there's never been a #1 player that's looked up at the box more, with the exception maybe of Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. Both those players, after every point, look over. Carlos has been known to do a few arm and hand movements throughout the years.
Ooh. No replay.
Cibulkova thought she had the winner. Instead, it gives Justine 2 match points. That's 2 doubles in this game. She will be very relieved if she's able to get through here.
Did you have to regain that ability when you came back, Linz, to close?
And I think it's inevitable. The older you get, the more nerves enter your body, even for these early round matches. Just been a little bit too much tension for a seemingly in control victory for Henna to close this out.
There she does, pulls it cross court for the finish.
6-4, 6-4.
So 4-4 for Justine Henin. She is through to the 4th round at Sony Ericsson Open.
Overall, a good performance for Justine, especially those first 5 games where she was down 2-love in the second set. Just started to control the points. You can see tough section here as well. Zvonareva up next, Pavlyuchenkova and Wozniacki actually down right now to Maria Kirilenko 4-1, getting treated by the trainer. And maybe we have an upset brewing there as well.
All of this, the opposite half, from the top half of the draw, which has Venus Williams and the #1 seed Svetlana Kuznetsova. Justine Henin through to the Sony Ericsson Open's 4th round.
In one of the biggest events of the year, the best players in the world vie for the crown at the Sony Ericsson Open. It's a star-studded event. Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal, and Serena Williams fight to be champion. The Sony Ericsson Open, live from Miami.
Final score, weeknights.
All right, this is back on Stadium at Sony Ericsson Open. Caroline Wozniacki being treated by the trainers. This is not leg cramps or ankle injuries, obviously, as they don't see this very often on the tennis court.
And she has the doctor out there as well as the trainer. She's been suffering from the flu.
So they took a little blood pressure and checked some other vitals, and now Wozniacki cleared to go back out there. It is 4-1 to Kirilenko in the first set of that match on Stadium. So now we'll go to court 2, where we'll take a look at David Ferrer and Ivo Karlovic. And there your story with